Versatile Mage. Chapter 203. The 28 million RMB man. In just an instant, he earned a profit of 28 million RMB. Mo Fan felt an unprecedented happiness. He had never seen this much money in his entire life. The person buying it was actually the Bai family. Ha ha ha. Zhao Mannion looked at the person who last made a bid and couldn't help but laugh. The person from the Bai family seemed to have already gotten the thing they wanted. They weren't interested in the last item being auctioned, so they rose together and left the auction hall. When Bai Zhangfeng and his fellow clansmen had walked outside the auction chamber, he swept a glance at Mo Fan and said, "A lot of the things here are things that you will never get in your entire lifetime. Do you think you're impressive with that little power? Just wait until I have a nebula magic tool. My cultivation will easily surpass yours." Yes, when the time comes, please be lenient, Mo Fan said while purposely acting as though he was afraid. Bai Zhangfeng strutted away in an unbelievably arrogant manner, while Zhao Mannion next to Mo Fan began to laugh like crazy. Only Zhao Mannion knew that the Bai family had directly put 29 million RMB into Mo Fan's pocket. Mo Fan even dared to sell a soul essence, which only meant that he most likely had even better things. Otherwise, who would actually want to sell something that could increase their own cultivation? This Bai Zhangfeng guy thought his family was so solid. Just wait until they entered the main campus and see who would surpass who. In Mo Fan's hand was indeed an even better cultivation tool. The little loach pendant had already absorbed the underground holy spring. Not even a warrior-level soul essence was capable of improving it. After Bai Zhangfeng left, Mo Fan continued to wait for a while to see if there was any magic equipment suitable for him. As he hoped, not too long afterwards, a magic shield appeared. A good set of magic armor had an incomparably high price. Thus, Mo Fan would rather have a good magic shield, so that in a crucial situation, he would be able to block a mortal wound. A departing nether shield appeared in the auction hall. Not only was it able to block an all-out attack from a warrior-level creature, but the surface of the shield was also able to turn into spikes and deal deadly piercing damage. Mo Fan bought this departing nether shield. The people who bid for it weren't many, but it was purchased by Mo Fan for 17 million in the end. The departing nether shield's price was even higher than the Blood Beast boots. After all, its defensive capabilities and ability to counterattack were much stronger than those of the Blood Beast boots. Naturally, Mo Fan also asked about it. His own Blood Beast boots could be sold for around 12 million. The things that Pearl Institute gave out were definitely not cheap goods. "Do you want to buy any Deathstrike magic equipment?" Zhao Mannion asked him. Deathstrike magic equipment was something all magicians loved, from primary to intermediate. In situations where attack methods were limited, Deathstrike magic equipment would often be the most important factor. "Are there any good Deathstrike equipments for 10 million? Mo Fan asked. "Let's use a warrior-level creature as an example. If you truly want to cause mortal damage to a warrior-level creature, then the Deathstrike equipment will always be at least 20 million or more, and those that come with additional effects are naturally even more expensive." "Then I can't afford it. I'll leave some money to raise my little beast," Mo Fan said. "Tusk, that makes sense. If you have money, you do need to raise some canaries. I'll introduce you to some good healthy girls." "What I meant was my summoned beast." Mo Fan really admired how perverted Zhao Mannion was. Oh, I was thinking about something else. However, you can still introduce the healthy girls you mentioned." Hey. Zhao Mannion couldn't keep up with Mo Fan's way of thinking. Selling soul essence, buying magic equipment, he had about 12 million RMB remaining. Adding on to the 3.1 million that he originally had, Mo Fan happily realized that he still had 15.1 million remaining after purchasing the magic shield. With this money, he needed to move out from that godforsaken area. Mo Fan had endured that place for far too long. The so-called safety area that required you to take a bus and transfer to a subway to get to the city area was even more remote than Bo City. How could it possibly be suitable for a man like him, who was now worth over 10 million RMB. In the next semester, Zhao Manyan also said that he wanted to move out. In this kind of situation, Mo Fan also didn't want to be bored staying in the dorm. He could change to an even more independent area for cultivating, so he wouldn't risk exposing himself. The secrets he had were not small. If someone saw them, it could get pretty bad. After returning to the school, the end of the semester quickly approached. This semester did not have any examinations. Only in the next semester would there be an official examination for entering the main campus. This semester could be called the growing phase. If the students were cultivating elsewhere, that was fine. If they wanted to take classes, that was also fine. It would even be fine if they didn't touch the gates of the school for the entire semester. The only examination would be for entering the main campus. To most magicians, the Azure campus and main campus were very different. The real Pearl Institute was the main campus. The resources there were abundant, while the competition was equally frightening. If you were able to distinguish yourself there, then you would be known throughout Shanghai, or even become an influential figure in the whole country. Entering the main campus was definitely the most important thing for all students. Mo Fan could clearly see that the reason Zhao Manyan wanted to move out was not because he wanted to bring girls home, but to put more effort into cultivating. After the matter of the arena, he had received a lot of resources from his family. He had no reason to continue loitering about. As for Mo Fan, not only was he confidently planning on entering the main campus, the most important thing was the hunter competition that was happening in less than 2 years. The lightning and fire nebulae couldn't stay at just the first level. He had to quickly level them to the second. Mo Fan couldn't forget the domineering fiery fist, 9 palace spell that Tang Yu had used. That was the 3rd level of fiery fist, and with the spirit grade fire seed, its might would definitely destroy any opponent. The lightning element was the same, it had to increase as well. If it stayed at that level, that was definitely not a good thing. Even the shadow element was the same, he had to learn how to draw its star atlas. The star atlas books were limited. His summoning element hadn't reached the intermediate level either, so he had to put effort into cultivating that as well. There were so many things to level up, Mo Fan felt that there was no time left for him to use. Another thing was, Mo Fan had already caught a whiff of the gunpowder attitude that pervaded the entire school. It was said that the main campus examination was a straight magic war. Since Mo Fan had essentially offended everyone in school, when that day came, if he didn't have the ability to suppress others, he would be stepped on like a dog by those people in just minutes. The people who hated him were definitely not limited to just by Zhang Feng. Someone said that they had even created an anti-Mo Fan society. That society was specifically created to attack the public enemy of the school, Mo Fan. The strength that Mo Fan had displayed back then did indeed appear monstrous to a lot of the primary level students. This society's strength had already grown greatly. They were only waiting to crusade against the monster and uphold justice. Mo Fan had never once regretted stealing other people's resources. If he hadn't stolen them away back then, how would he have been able to fight against the Mother Beast? If he didn't kill the Mother Beast, then where would he have earned enough to gain the Spirit Grade Lightning Seed and the departing Nether Shield? This was called, the strong becoming even stronger, effect. Those dregs really thought they would be able to contend against him if they bitterly cultivated for a year. When the time came, they would learn that Daddy Mo would still be their daddy. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.